What is the Russian cult of spiritual bonds? The so-called spiritual bonds is Russia's ideological concept that defines traditional values for the Russian people. This narrative feeds the imperial ambitions of the Russians and justifies the wars their country wages. Similar cults of traditions were at the core of fascist regimes' ideologies. The first variety of spiritual bonds was made up by a minister of the Russian Empire, Sergei Uvarov. According to his doctrine, the Russian statehood rests on three pillars: Orthodox Christianity, when the Church exercises influence on societal processes; autocracy, when the Tsar has an exclusive role in ruling the empire; and nationality, when the will of the Tsar means the will of the people. After the disintegration of the Russian Empire, the doctrine lived on. The very notion of spiritual bonds was used for the first time by Russian philosopher Nikolai Berdyaev. As Putin came to power, the so-called bonds gained renewed topicality. Putin's advisor Vladislav Surkov started developing the Russian world concept, which is heavily based on shared spiritual bonds. In 2012, Putin for the first time publicly proclaimed that the spiritual bonds are an important factor of the special third way of Russia's development. Thereupon, the bonds became the cornerstone of Russia's official narrative. The regime played on people's nostalgia for the past, propagating achievements of the Russian Empire and the USSR on the media and in the cultural sphere. The Kremlin aggressively imposed the Russian language and literature abroad. Any resistance to that was viewed as oppression of the Russian-speaking. Later, that was one of the stated reasons for Russia's invasion of neighboring countries. Another means used by Russia to actualize its spiritual bonds concept is the instrumentalization of the Russian Orthodox Church. The state allowed the Church to interfere in education, science and the media, and to engage in ideological propaganda in the military. Meanwhile, the clergy aggressively propagate Kremlin's narratives, in particular those that justify the wars unleashed by Russia. The so-called spiritual bonds are an aggressive ideology, which makes Russia a threat to the entire civilized world.